So the next design element that we can manipulate when we design our costumes is the idea of texture, and that fits in really nicely with the use of materials. So texture, it relates to what something looks like, the look and the feel, whether it's smooth, whether it's rough. It adds lots of nice visual interest, but also we connect different characteristics with different types of material and different types of texture. So think about how you'd feel differently over someone wearing a ripped woolen coat to somebody wearing a really tightly fitted shiny PVC coat. There are lots of things that we connect. Also, different materials we connect to different types and styles of people. We might see something as being very futuristic, or we might see something as being very regal, so the use of velvet, for example, or we might see the use of Hessian to denote someone being very poor. So it becomes a very useful way for us to show something about a character. So look at this picture. Obviously, it's from a certain time, but let's have a look at how amazing these costumes and the fabric types are. Let's look at the idea of all the embellishments. So look at the layers and layers of different fabric, of the pearls, of the lacing that's coming through them. Let's look at the ribbons. You can also see the fit and style and the cleanliness. Even if we look at the priest, who is obviously less embellished and over the top than the characters on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see that it's very, very clean and very expensive. You can contrast that to these characters. Look at these characters and you can see that they're dirty, that it's all creased, it's stained, that the fit isn't great, how they've rolled up their sleeves. You can see that the material and the boy in the middle, who's actually Oliver, for those of you who didn't guess, how it's very thick woolen material, whether or not that shows that at one stage he was rich and now he is poor, how we're manipulating this through the use of the textures. You can see these two characters together. See how she's wearing this expensive looking shot kind of silk and a beautiful dress, but obviously he is not quite so upper class as she is, and so you can see that in regards to the leather and the rips, and how it's old and looks perhaps more stained. Look at these guys who are obviously from the war. You can see how his is dirtier. Look at the state of his shoes. Look at the state of his jacket, how it's worn open, but it's very, very stained, and she's got blood on hers. So again, the use of the texture is changing our opinion to what's happening with the characters. So type and style of the fabric used is important. You can tell a lot about a character by the type of fabric that you're using. Have a look at your character. Think about them. Do they have or use embellishments? Are their clothes clean or dirty? Do they have splendid and fantastic wigs which are bigger than what you would perhaps see? How can you manipulate this design element for your character?